Good morning, grade 12s. This is your CAT Zoom lesson. It is the 6th of May today, 2020. Okay, so today what we're going to start with is Access. Now, I know a couple of you might be struggling with Access. Remember that you can apply for a free Office 365 account through mahala.ms. And when you have now created the account, you will need to go to the advanced options and install the Access part of the software. It doesn't naturally install, so you will have to go to your advanced options and select Access specifically. Okay, otherwise you can use LibreOffice. There is a database called Base, which you will be able to use also to do your activities. Okay. Okay, so let us begin here. We are going to start off, we're going to reinforce some concepts and skills you have learned from grade 11 and at the beginning of this year. So I'm going to go through step by step through the processes and then show you the different options. Okay, the activity we are going to look at here is where we've got a database here, the plant database, and we have various fields here. So here are our fields, a family common name that looks like the Latin name, then the family bot, the total species, endemic species, listings, the genus, no genus, and plant code. Okay. Over here we have field 1, that is where it would read in our each record to identify them. Okay, so to start off with, it says change the design of the plant table as follows. Change the field size of the family common field to 50. So I have my database here and I will open my database. I will go to my plant table, and in order to change that, I need to go into design view. And here I will be able to see all the fields, their data types, a description on each field, and then various information that I can find. So over here, if I need to change the field size, the standard field size is 255, but we don't need so many characters. We only want 50. So yours is 40. We'll simply just change it from 40 to 50. Okay, so that is the first question. Question B says, change the field properties of the endemic species field so that 1, it will be required, and 2, the data in this field is displayed as a fixed format. So I go to my database, I go and find the endemic species, and over here you will see yours is going to be set to no. You can change it over. It's already got a drop down in the required, and you will make it yes. Now the reason for this is you then force the user to enter a value into this field. They will not be able to continue without entering something. The next part is format. That is something new to grade 12 that you never used to work in. There are different versions. There's general number, currency, and what I want it in is fixed format. Okay. So this is actually very, very easy work. The main thing is you just need to know where each field is and what you can change on it. So please make notes as I'm speaking so that the next time that you see that you need to change the format, you know exactly where to find it and what options you have there. Okay. Question C says, change the properties of the listing field so that the user can choose from the options endangered or threatened when entering data. So currently it was listings. So when you went into yours, I go into listing, and when I want to create a list or a combo list, I'm going to go to my lookup. And then on my row source, first I'm going to go to display control, and I'm going to choose a combo box here. Then after I've chosen my combo box, I need to enter the fields or the specific content that I want the user to be able to choose from. Now, why would I use a combo box? When you are busy drawing, when you're analyzing your data, people make spelling mistakes. So maybe they spelled threatened without an A, or they used a double E or something. So when you use a drop-down box or a combo box, you then give specific options. It becomes a closed-end question because you tell the user you need to choose one of these options. So you need to place each word in double quotes with a semicolon in between. So I'm going to type in endangered, semicolon, threatened, and then to see how it will run, when I go into my listings field, do you see that I now have my two options? So then the user doesn't have to type these words in. They can simply choose from a combo box. Okay. Question D. Create an input mask for the plant code field to accept data in the following format. So here, input mask. Now this activity, be prepared to get a question like this in your theory exam also. So you will need to be able to write out the codes for input masks. So the first one is, I want a compulsory letter. Okay. Followed by at least, so what do I use to put in a letter? I will put an L. Followed by at least 2, but possible 3 characters that could consist of either digits or letters. So I'm going to put 2 digits, so AA and then a little a. So it can be 2 or 3. Then it says display in capital letters. How do I make it in capital letters? Very simply, I place a greater than angle bracket in front of my code to make sure that the entire code is written in capital letters. Ignore any warning messages that may occur. So let us show you there. If I go to plant code, I go to my general section, and over here, I will enter my input mask. So greater than, I want a capital letter, then 3 letters, 2 to 3 letters afterwards. Okay, let's just quickly go back there. One compulsory letter, so the L makes it compulsory, followed by at least 2 or 3 characters. Okay. Now, set the primary key on a more appropriate field. So at the moment, it was probably on field 1 with the auto number. But that doesn't actually define anything. If I look at my database, let's go into runtime. These numbers don't really actually, it's just there to say it's a specific number. Is that a good field? Now, what is a primary key? A primary key is to identify a unique record. So every time I enter a record, it is going to place a number according to that record. And then what we do is we set it to auto number to make sure that it calculates the next number for us. Otherwise, if you have 10,000 records and you delete one record, you will need to remember what that number was and then place a new record in that number. Okay, so now they're saying choose a more appropriate field for a primary key. So what would make it unique? So will the family common name make it unique? Maybe not so much. Family bot, no. Total species, this number is going to constantly change. But if I look here, my plant code is going to stay the same the whole time. So I will then set my primary key. So how do I change my primary key? Okay, I will click on my field. I will right click on it. Let's just I've changed something here. Let me just close this one. Okay, mine is, at the moment, I've opened it in too many places. So just at this, let me just close everything. Okay, let's open it again. Go into design mode. There we go. So how do I set, first of all, how do I know which one's got the primary key? It's physically got a little key there, okay? And if I right click on my field name, it gives me the options to set to primary key, cut, copy, paste. I can insert rows. I can delete a specific field, or I can look at my properties. So set your plant code to primary key. Okay. Okay, the next part of your activity is going to say, create a form called FRM 9_2 based on the, so what table am I going to use? I'm going to use the plant table containing, and I want the specific fields, family common, family bot, total species, and endemic species. So, part A, your form needs to look something like this. So I've got a heading here with a title, a picture over there, I've got fields, and I've got a button. Take the following into consideration. Only add the fields required as shown on the form above or next to. Your heading, I want it in a size of 36. Note the alignment of the heading. Welcome to the students that have just joined. We are busy working through Access, and I'm doing a revision activity with you. We are now on question 2. Okay, so your form, you've been asked to create this form, and it needs to look something like this. Your field size, your heading size, I want it to be a size of 36, and it must be in the center. Then the image which I want in my heading is 9erica.jpg, and this will be in the examination folder. And then I want you to add an additional little button there from your controls. And this is an action button that will, the way the action button is, it will go to the next control. So let's quickly take a look in our Access database. Here is my form. I've already created it. Let's just close this one. It doesn't like when I'm working in multiple forms. Okay, so there is my form. Now, the reason we use forms is so that it is easier for the user. They don't want to work in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, it's too much information across the board. So we make a more user-friendly form for the user to be able to just click in or type in the necessary fields. Okay, so now let's see what it looks like when I design it. So I can go into layout. I'm going to go to my design view. So now there are different parts to this form. There's a form header. the detail. So like almost like an HTML, the body section, and then here is the form footer. So what you need to go and do is you need to place a heading there with a size of 36. I want an image over here next in your form header. Then you needed to insert 3 controls. So now just if you were looking for these, let's just see. No, I just want to activate the properties so that you can see specifically. That mustn't be on one specific one. Let's say view properties. Okay, it's not opening my properties on the right. I will get that activated shortly. Okay, no, it's not going to open. So what you're going to do is you're going to insert edit boxes here for me with the labels. And remember, the fields that I'm only looking for is family common, family bot, total species, endemic species. And then you are going to insert a button for me. Okay, so make sure that you have those. Let's see, form properties. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so let's quickly look at some of these properties. There's my plant, my label. So if you are looking for the different information, you can change the font size there to 36, or you can do it at the top here. Here on the background, I wanted you to add some color. Okay, so background color there, that is the actual color number. If I use my drop down, I can use those. Or what I can do is on the ellipsis, I can choose one of these colors. Okay, so if they ask you, and this is a typical exam question, change the form header color to a different color. Okay, so you would just click on the ellipsis and choose the specific color. We then have our text box, and this text box, when you create the text box, it will add a label to it. And remember, when you want to group them together, you will highlight the whole group and then group them together. Okay, and then space them accordingly. Okay, so I've got my edit boxes, and then here, this is called a command button, and you will then choose the type of, there is a caption there that you can add in. I just want to find the kind, if it is in here. It will give you the option to choose what type. So there are different buttons. I can have a print button, a previous, a next, a play. So there are multiple types of buttons that you can insert. Okay, so that's basically what the form is going to look like. Okay, so let's go to our slide. The next one we're going to look at is you're going to create the query QRY9_3. The query must use the plant table to only display the family common and family bot fields of all the records where the number of endemic species is more than 1,200. Okay, so queries you've been doing since grade 11. So you would use your create. If you are still learning to do your queries, use your query wizard. Okay, the query wizard is going to take you step by step through each one and explain to you how to do it. We have covered this section, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now. But yeah, so you can use your query wizard, and it needs to be based on the plant table. So now I want to go and look at the specific information. So my fields I've chosen is family common, family bot, endemic species. And it's very easy. What you can do is you just literally choose the field from the top block, and you can drag and drop it into the next field. Then what they said is it must show the family bot, and it must show the plant, the family common. But I don't want the endemic species to show, so I'm going to untick the show, and my criteria said it must be greater than 1,200. So let us run this one, and all of these will be, so can you see there, even though there's a third field, you don't see it because I've unticked the show. All of these are based more than 1,200. Okay. Let's look at the next part. Now it says, open the query 9_4. Sort and display the family bot field in descending order. Okay, so Z to A, or greatest to smallest. Then insert and display a calculated field. Okay, now this is the tricky part. This is where a lot of students struggle. So calculated field called per for percentage, which will calculate the percentage that endemic species is of the total species of each record. So let us take a look. So I open my query and I go into. So the only record that you are going to drag and drop from this top section is family bot. Then you are going to create a new field. Now, a little hint is go and use your builder, okay? I started showing you that in term 1. So what you do is you can type in a formula, almost like as in Excel, to create a specific field, okay? So here I'm saying I want the endemic species divided by my total species times 100. So why would I say times 100? Because I want the percentage. So I've called it perc colon, and then let's just quickly see how we build it. So enter the query field. So examples would be field 1 in square brackets plus field 2 square brackets and field 1 divided by. So my criteria. Okay. So each field you need to place in square brackets, and then you simply click OK, and it will create it. Okay, and I don't have to put anything else here. All I needed was that. So let's quickly just see what marks this would have been. I would have given you 1 for the percentage and 1 for creating the field, and probably another 2 marks for choosing your specific fields and the calculation. So this could be 3 to 4 marks in your exams. And simply what you did was you used your expression builder. So in previous versions before 2016, you physically had to go and write out each field. Now from 2016 onwards, even though it's like a level 3 question, it's become lower because it actually builds it for you. But you still need to understand it, so its cognitive level question is still about a level 3. Okay, now this using your expression builder is going to save you so much time in exams, so practice using your expression builder. Okay, so let's carry on. Create a report called report 9_5 based on the plant table. Show only the family common, family bot, endemic species, and the genus fields. Then the second part is I want you to group the records. So you started learning how to group in grade 11. This is another question that is almost every single time in the exams. So it's important that you know how to do it. Okay, so group the records according to the endemic species field. Then 3, display the report in landscape format. 4, insert a function to calculate the average number of all the endemic species in the report. 5, round off your answer to 1 decimal. So let's quickly just backtrack. We are looking at the report 9.5. So you have to create this report, and this is what it's going to look like. So let me just scroll through it, and you can see we have our 3 fields, endemic, so 4 fields: endemic species, family common, family bot, and genus. Okay, then they need to be, I just want to see if there's any grouping added to it. Okay, we will find there is a formula that you're going to have to place in your field. So let us take a look here. I'm going to go to design view. So here in my header, again, you will be required to enter a heading. They can ask you to place the different sections in different colors. So again, just to see how to do this, there is my background color. I can click on the ellipsis to choose a specific color. Okay, then my page header, there are my headings. And then, so that must display at the top of my report. Then I want the endemic, let's just see here. It's not showing me if it's grouped at this point. Okay. Then in the detailed section, that's like the body part, I'm going to have the family common and the family bot. And the genus, I'm just going to make the property sheet a little smaller so that we can see all our fields. Then in the page footer, now, what is the formula equals now empty parenthesis? That means enter today's date. So equals now says, give me today's date right now. Okay. Then what I would like is I would like page numbers inserted. And then at the bottom in my report footer, I want you to add another edit box. And in this edit box, you are going to enter a formula. So here's the formula. Let's just quickly look through these. Let's see if, okay, so here basically in the formula, you are going to have to type it out. It's not like with the expression builder. So I have my field in square brackets. Then what I'm saying is I want the average of that one, of the endemic species, and I want it rounded off to 1. This same formula can be used in Excel. So remember, anything I've taught you in Excel, you need to be able to apply in Word and Access, okay? So that it isn't because they are integrated software. Okay, so that was basically the form. You round it off to one place, added a descriptive label in your heading, and ensure that all the data displays fully. Okay, so what that means by the fully is that, let's just go back to the home tab and into our report view. None of the fields must be cut off. So you must make sure that everything can be displayed correctly. Okay, so even my headings, we could probably have made this column a little smaller. Okay, so here is just an example to show you what it looks like to help you out. And that is the end. Not bad for getting straight onto 30 minutes. I hope to see you all tomorrow. We will continue with Access then. Have a great day.